Today I'm going to teach you how to edit vlogs like a pro for free without trying to sell you a course or any advertisements. That's right, I'm going to give you a quick and easy template that you can use to make better and more vlogs. Also sharing what I've learned over the last 8 years of making them. Let's get into it. What's going on, guys? Hope you're doing well. So today I'm going to be breaking down this timeline from my last vlog in Toronto. Now when it comes to vlogs, there is no set format. You're free to create however you want, but I'm going to share with you guys how I've been editing vlogs for about the last 8 years, and I think this way is a simple and efficient way to edit vlogs. So I highly recommend giving it a try, but let's dive into it. So first things first, when it comes to the template of a vlog, you can have like an intro, middle, and an end. And if you are going to do that for an intro, I suggest intros for a vlog. There's two ways to go about it. You can quickly mention what's going to happen in the video, or you can show like the highlights or scenes of what's to come to draw a little intrigue from your viewer. So let's dive into this intro. If you haven't seen this video, I'm just going to play the first little bit here. So it's been about 6 months since I've made a vlog in Toronto. So today we're heading downtown with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 to see what this thing is truly capable of. So as you can see in the first few seconds, I quickly break down what's going to happen in the vlog. I say we're heading to Toronto to test out the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Also, I throw in a little audio and visual cue here because people have short retention spans. So the more you could cut up, the better, but try not to overdo it. And then it dives into this B-roll section of me heading to Toronto. Now, the most important thing to me when it comes to vlogs is editing it chronologically, because to me, a vlog is documenting your day. So to document your day and give the most authentic experience to the viewer and to keep the editing process easier for yourself, just having it chronological and each clip you filmed come after another. Now, obviously there are some exceptions. If one clip you filmed before works better here, you can mix and match it, but I find it's the best way to simplify the process. So now let's break down how I actually edit this little B-roll section, and it's through a process called beat matching. And I think this is the best way to chop up B-roll in cinematics. So as you can tell here, we use the audio sample to chop up the beat. Now personally, I use Epidemic Sound, which I really like because they have the stems. You can get the melody, the instruments, drums, and bass, and they also do have awesome SFX. So if you do want to check out Epidemic Sound, I have a link in the description for a free 30-day trial. But for this track, it was from the homie Gertie Beats, so I just have the original MP3 file, but still the same rules apply. We're chopping it up to the kick. So let's dive into this. So as you can see, it's hitting at the kicks. See where there's the high point in the audio? That's where the scene's gonna change, so. Ready? Boom. Boom. So as you can see, each scene is changing to the kick. Now also, you can have natural audio to make the transitions just a little better. So if I were to mute the music here, you can see the door closing, the high point in this audio is gonna transition it. So now if you really watch it, like the video kind of flows smoothly without even the music.
Please stand clear of the doors.
But the music adds the vibe, and music's always great. So as you can see, I'm chopping it up to the kick, and each clip is changing to the kick. And I'm documenting my process from the train to Toronto. So now let's watch this little part. Once again, keep an eye out. You can see the audio transitions down here are gonna help transition the scene, and it's also transitioning to the music, so. Watch, the door closing, scene changes. Now that there was a little bit more of a fancier transition. I'll break it down quickly, but we'll dive more into the complex stuff later, or maybe in another video. So this is just a simple draw mask. As you can tell, I'm editing in Final Cut Pro, but these rules and tips can be applied to pretty much any editing software. So what you do, you draw the mask. I drew out the outline of the door, and then each frame, I just follow the door. And I have the scene below that it's gonna transition into. So once again, super basic, but it's just a nice, smooth, cool transition. Hear those birds chirping? That's all natural audio. So as you can tell, each scene is transitioning to the beat of the music or the natural audio down below. And the way I kind of do my vlogs is Like I said, there is no right or wrong way to do it, but this is how I do it. I'll have B-roll, and then I'll have some talking to camera, B-roll, talking to camera, and I kind of divide it up like that. So I'll have a talking scene, then I'll have some cinematics, then back to talking, and I kind of go back and forth, and I feel like that's an easy template to make vlogs. And also it makes the filming process kind of easy. So for example, you have something you want to say, you talk about it, and then you show some B-roll, and then you have another talking scene, and you kind of just go back and forth. Now, once again here, I'll show you another example. Around and put this thing to use. So once again, all the scenes are transitioning to the audio. This time around, I think I went more towards the instruments and bass line I was transitioning to, not so much the kicks and drums, but rule of thumb, transitioning to the kick and drums always works well. But as you can tell too here, with the natural audio, listen how this sounds, even without the songs. So, you know, it just gives you that positive viewing experience and the smoothest viewing experience when it comes to transitions. We'll dive more into that after, but another way you can break up the scenes, you don't always need to have talking music. You can also do it through natural audio. So I'll show you some examples here. Once again, I talk to camera, and then I start transitioning to, you see, it's very minor, but this little high point in the audio is going to transition to change in scenes. So. Hear that? Perfect. My card tapping. Beep. Door open, slap the pizza down. Okay. You know, and I'm using the natural audio to transition the scenes a little smoother. And honestly, guys, I think sound design and SFX is one of the most important parts when it comes to video creation. I'll show you another quick example here. So here is the little beeping from the street sign. So, ready? The madness of the city. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. On the next one, I'll transition. Transition, boop, 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 boop. So I'm using that natural audio to transition. And over the last decade of editing and watching other creators, that's one of the things that bothers me the most is like super hard or abrupt cuts. And like audio definitely plays a huge role in that. For example, here you can see me fading out the audio. So it's just a simple audio fade, and it's kind of like what a DJ does. So a DJ is playing one track, and then he slowly fades into the other track for a smooth transition. And the same applies to videos. And even you can look here. So I'm about to talk to camera here, but before I talk to camera, I drag it out and have it rise in a little slower so it's not as abrupt and it's not as much of a hard cut. Okay, so another insane throwback. So, you know, it just makes things a little smoother, and it's those little things that make the viewing experience just that much better. Let's see if we have another example here. Once again, you see this little high point in audio, and that's where I transition. Here, I think the lady says yeah or something, so I transition to the yeah. Yeah, you know, and it switches. And it's just those little things, guys, that just make the viewing experience a little smoother. Now, like I said, the way I do it is kind of talking, B-roll, talking, B-roll, talking, B-roll, and I think that's a good format just to get the ball rolling. And once you like do this a couple times, then you can refine the process on your own and figure out what works best for you. But I think this is a simple format to create more vlogs quicker and better. Now, when it comes to cutting them up, my rule of thumb is like, this is kind of a bad example because I dragged on scenes like a little longer than I normally would because I was trying to show the capabilities of the camera. But I think like you shouldn't really hold a scene for more than 8 seconds. You know, 5 to 8 seconds is kind of that sweet spot. And I'll show you guys an example on another vlog here. So if I'm talking to camera for an extended period of time, I'll open up this one as a travel vlog. So for example, right here, I had a scene where I was talking for about a minute, you know? So just to break up the mundane, I'll just quickly play it here so you can see. Hope you're doing well. We are back at LEX, Lexington, Kentucky Airport, and this is probably the smallest and quietest airport I've ever been to. Just breaking up that mundaneness of just me rambling for the whole time, I switch up in scenes. And just this little text transition, for example, the audio cues make a huge difference. Like, look at the text without it. We're back at LEX, Lexington, Kentucky Airport. You know, it's cool, but it's nothing special. You add in that little sound effects, Get LEX. And you can't tell me that doesn't make it so much better, you know? And then for example, I ramble here, and while I'm rambling, I'm overlaying clips, but I'm not just overlaying pointless clips. They have a meaning. So here I'm gonna say, I'm gonna do some work at the airport. So I show myself doing work, and then I'm gonna go back to cold Toronto and I show myself in cold Toronto. Sure, all is well, plus my girlfriend's working today, so I'm gonna do the same. Just hang out here for a bit, do some computer work, kill some time, and then we're back to chilly, cold, snowy Toronto. So I keep that in mind while I'm filming. If I have a long scene of talking, if I can have some clips that I know will overlay smoothly. For here, another example, I say I've been walking around in a t-shirt. Awesome, definitely enjoyed that. Was walking around with a t-shirt down here. So I show you walking around in a t-shirt just to break up the monotony of me talking for a minute straight. And once again, just looking at this intro, the same kind of thing, guys. Look, I quickly explain what I'm gonna do. And just like that, it is officially time to head back to the airport. So what did I do there? I quickly explained what's happening in a video, then I show myself making my way to the airport. Here's a driving scene, here's me arriving at the airport, and then here's just me vibing out, filming some B-roll. And I think that's kind of the way to go about it. And it also, like I said, it simplifies the process for you when it comes down to editing, because you're just keeping it chronological and you're following along on the story. Because like I said, a vlog to me, a true vlog is documenting your day. So you want to document in the most authentic way possible. And the way to do that is to show you exactly what happened, you know? This happened, then this happened, and this happened. Like I said, there is room where you can break that up. But let's show you another example here where we cut into B-roll. So talking. 2 hours in Detroit. And as you can see, here I'm fading in the music. So the music's slowly gonna build in. Ready? First layover, I think it's Detroit. Got 2 hours in Detroit, then it's off to Toronto, so let's get into it. And once again, guys, if I get rid of the music, you can see I have natural audio from the pilot speaking and my belt clipping. So that's just gonna make it a better viewing experience. Another example of some natural audio here, we break, and look where I cut to the next scene where there's a high point in the audio. Switches. You know, so it's just those little things when it comes to chopping up the B-roll and scenes that make a positive viewing experience. Now let's pull back to the Toronto vlog here. Now, as you can see, like I said, it looks like a lot. It might look intimidating, but also keep in mind, I've been doing this for 8 years and I've been making vlogs for over 8 years now. So my timelines didn't originally look like this, and they kind of improve with each video and get better and better. And that's kind of what you guys need to go about. You know, I can show you lots of different examples of how I use natural audio and cutting to music, but I think you guys kind of get the point. Like, try and keep it as simple as possible for you guys. Like, if you're just getting started in vlogging, it's an intimidating process and you might not know where to start. So I hope this video could kind of help you get an idea and like a raw template of how to kind of format vlogs, how to piece together B-roll, how to chop up between talking and cinematics and kind of go back and forth. And I've had a lot of positive feedback. A lot of people enjoy watching my vlogs, and this is the easiest way for me to make vlogs. Don't get me wrong, sometimes there's different processes and whatnot, but for the most part, it's an intro. We have some B-roll, we have some talking, back to some B-roll, cinematics, and you just go kind of back and forth like that, and you tell your story that way. Now, this is my first time kind of making like a tutorial video like this. Like, it's kind of hard for me to actually break down my thought process. Like, I don't have any notes or anything. I'm kind of just rambling off the top of my head. So I truly do hope you found some value in this. If you did, feel free to drop a like, subscribe, comment. It's a free way to help support this channel. And if you do want to go that little extra mile, I got a Patreon right here, and I'm truly grateful for everyone who supports this dream. And yeah, I'm gonna make some more videos like this in the future. I think I want to make some more like a deep dive into video editing and stuff. I know a lot of people, one of the most asked questions on my channel is how do I color grade? And color grading is a big thing. Like, if you can look, here's a graded clip, an ungraded clip, And as you can tell, it does add that cinematic touch to video, but I wouldn't stress over that kind of stuff yet. Just like trying to figure out how to format a vlog first, and then the color grading, all that other stuff is kind of just the extra bonus. But if I do get 50 comments saying color grade, I promise I'll make it a priority to get some LUTs to you guys. Obviously, it is going to cost money. It's something that I'm going to sell some LUTs. You know, if you do want to replicate my look, and this is a look that I've built over the last 5 years, so this is something I've been working on and tweaking on. It's about a combination of 8 or 9 LUTs. Some I've purchased, some I've created myself, stacked together. So if there's enough interest for that, I'll definitely work on that next. Now I'm just kind of rambling, so I'm going to end it here. Much love, guys. Hope you found some value, and I'll see you in the next one.